Hello, Gemini, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. I am getting over a summer cold, so please excuse my voice today. I know it's a little scratchy. There's coughing occasionally, but I feel like I'm on the upswing. I'm getting to the end of it, just trying to get through those last little phases of it. Summer colds are awful. So anyway, please bear with me as I get my voice back from a little bit of laryngitis. So this will be your weekly reading, Gemini, from August 16th through the 22nd. And during that time, we first have the waxing crescent moon, and that's a time of heightened senses. It's a good time for us to buckle down and start to work on those things that we decided we'd work on this cycle during the new moon. So we're going to start working at those things, and it's just a good time for us to live up to those expectations and intentions. The energy is really, really good as we kick those things off. We then have our first interrupter of the cycle, and that is the first quarter moon. That comes in on the 20th, and that's a time when you might feel impulsive, impatient, and it could last for a couple of hours or even a day. So just plan your life accordingly. But you can either kind of relax and take yourself an easy day, or learn how to be in control and dominate those impulses as they come in. Just know that that energy is coming in for you this week. So please keep those moon energies in mind as we move through the week. This will be an intuitive general reading for energies that you may or may not encounter, Gemini. So, as always, please take what resonates and leave what doesn't here right on the table for someone else. And your overall message for this week is don't let your past hold you back. All right, let's see what the Gemini Collective has going on for the week. As I'm shuffling the tarot, usually I would have a fun weekly reminder as I'm shuffling. This week, I do need your help on something. I'm thinking about doing the occasional live stream, and this might happen in a couple of months, maybe when the weather's a little bit colder and it's, I like to be outside a lot in the summer, but when fall comes around, it's just a little colder. It's harder to do that. So I am wondering if you could let me know just in the comments, if you could just drop a comment and let me know what day of the week might be better for you for live stream. And also maybe your time zone, so that I know that some of you might say that, maybe Saturday is best for you, or maybe a time recommendation, Saturday at 4 p.m., let's say. That's a time when you're around and looking for something to do. So if you could help me out with that this week and just drop that into the comments, I really do appreciate. Thank you so much for your help on that. All right, let's get into this reading. Gemini, August 16th through the 22nd. Don't let your past hold you back. Your present energy right now is the 10 of Swords. So something that you're done with. You're just done doing it. And maybe that's why, anytime we have a 10 here and things that are wrapping up and finishing, there's always new beginnings. Each ending just opens up more space for something new. So something is ending for you, and it could just be a way of thinking, a way of being, or something that you've just been involved with that you're done with. You're not doing that anymore. Your current situation is the 8 of Swords. So this could be about some situation where you're feeling a little bit stuck and you're having to think your way out of it. Again, don't let your past hold you back. If you need to think new ways of getting through it, then go ahead and think those and get through those things that you're kind of feeling a little bit stuck with. And it could just be stuff in your head that you're thinking about. At the root of your situation is the 7 of Wands here, which is about feeling like it's you against the world. So you might have people that you're butting up against that you do have a difference of opinion with, and just hold your ground. Is that how you do that? Hold your ground, or also take time to maybe listen. Why is there such conflict there, or something butting up against you? Maybe take the time to open up and listen and see what others are saying when it comes to that. But again, don't let your past keep you from doing something maybe new and different. In your recent past here is the 4 of Swords. So you've had some sort of rest and meditation. Look at all the swords in this reading. This could just be stuff that's going on in your mind that you're working through and thinking about, but it's so a lot of thought and things. So you've been thinking about this anyway, and now it's like you're approaching where you're having to manage and deal with whatever this might be. What is on your mind this week is all the choices. And look at the 7. So now we've got angel number 7. 7 might be a good thing for you to look up to see if it has any bearing on this situation. But you've got a lot of choices, and maybe that's why it gets confusing and you feel a little stuck, and you feel like there's pressure coming at you that you have to make these choices. But just go ahead and relax and get through them and make the choices that you feel like are best for your future. That's all you can really do. That's all any of us can really do. What is just ahead of you this week is the King of Cups. So you're going to do this all while really maintaining an emotional stability and emotional balance. And, the King of Cups is not only concerned with being in control and understanding his own emotions, but also those of the people around him. So again, if there are people around you, understand maybe why tensions are high or things are going on, but understand and talk to them and understand what they're feeling. Why are you so emotionally driven by this? What's going on that maybe you need to understand about them a little bit more. And that's always a nice way to approach things too. What is in your advice position here is the Page of Swords. So you may just have to communicate in a new way, think about things in a new way. This is that turning over a new leaf. Don't let your past, your way of doing things in the past might not be this new fresh way that you're going to approach it in the future. And that's because we learn as we go along, right? We're learning things, and we learn that maybe this same situation came up in the past. You handled it one way. This time you're going to handle it in a totally different way, and hopefully have a better outcome, right? All right, what is beyond your control this week is the Five of Wands. So, some debate, some discussion with the fives. Our fives can be about conflict. It looks like that's beyond your control, probably is leading you to these decision points and to um, feeling like you against the world if you're having kind of a debate situation. So again, just make sure your ears are open, that you're listening to everyone's opinion as things are coming about for you. What is your secret desire, or what are you trying to avoid? Is another 8 here with the 8 of Cups. So hopefully it's your secret desire to just move on and explore the next thing. Again, we started off with this 10, something that you're wrapping up. Again, even if it's just thoughts, but now it's about exploring those new thoughts. Anytime we have an ending, it's time to explore the next thing. What's the next thing you want to experience? So make sure that you're taking that time too to do that exploration. And hopefully that is your secret desire. This card also can be something that you're trying to avoid. So are you trying to avoid seeking out that next thing? And there's really no right or wrong answer. It's just whatever works for you at this time. But make sure you understand the reason that you're answering it in one way or the other. That's kind of your big question. All right. And your outcome, Gemini, is the Hermit card. So we started with this Four of Swords, which kind of, going in and having some inner thought. We're also going to end the cycle with the same thing, or this week with, with some meditation, with some deeper thought. And of course, if you're trying to decide your next step, that's exactly what the Hermit is there for, is to go in, to think about things. What is your next foot forward? What next thing might you engage in? So be thinking about that also as we get through the week here. What is hidden from you here at the bottom of the deck, Gemini, is judgment. So this could be judgment of you or judgment by you. So there's really no judgment involved in anything that's going on this week. It's on, again, it's about this could just be about a way of thinking. Are you going to think one way or another? You've got some decisions to make there, but do look up angel number 77 and also 88. We've got 2 8s on the table as well. So what are you thinking about? What is in your past that might be holding you back from moving yourself forward? Those are the kind of things that you need to be asking yourself this week. All right, let's get you a final message here from the Soul Oracle deck. Final message here for Gemini this week. Let's move forward, and the card for you is to be patient. To be patient. And both of these cards are cards of patience too. This Hermit and this Four, it's restful, it's meditative. You're thinking, you're just quietly thinking, and it's okay. Be patient. Sometimes decisions, I always say that tarot readings happen for a week, but life doesn't happen in a week. It might just be a little blip that you're having, whatever this is that's going on, and it might not resolve. It might take a few more weeks or months even to resolve, but be patient. Whatever this new thing that you want to go about this in a new way. Be patient. It might take some time for that to come about. All right, let's see what you need to do in the way of self-care this week. Self-care for Gemini this week. And the card that you get is the card called Energy. Stop trying to please everyone. Everyone is a whole lot of people. Protect your energy. So is this down here? Trying to please words? Are you feeling you against the world, or some kind of debate comes up? Make sure to protect your energy. You can't please everybody. And I'm sure, does your past tell you that? I'm sure. We've all kind of learned that, hopefully. If not, if it's a lesson that you keep getting, then you just have to learn how to get that lesson and learn it and live it and move forward in a different way. So, Gemini, thank you so much for being here. I do hope there's something in this reading that you can take away and use in a positive way in your life this week. Drop me a comment down below if anything here resonated, or if you have questions, I'd be happy to answer those as well. Also, if you like my reading style, hitting like and subscribe is one way to let me know that, and I do appreciate you for doing that. Thank you so much, Gemini. I'll see you next week. Bye bye.